any pecuniary interest for this meeting? Okay. None? Go to adopting these. Okay. Yeah, but it's fine. Moved by Terry Member, second by Matthew, here be resolved that the council and committee of the county of Vancouver reach adopt the agenda for April 1st, 2015 meeting. All those in favor? Opposed, if any, carried. You're going to make me do everything. Okay. We've been presents very talented young men. And this council has been following their career for some time. As we've been in here, we've been nothing but amazed. That's another name. We've been very impressed. And so we decided that we would like to honor him for all his really good community service and calling him a community champion. And I would like to present on behalf of the township of Whitewater region this scroll.
Would anyone like to come up for a photo opportunity?
Whitewater region would like to acknowledge and congratulate your achievements and efforts in our community. For your participation in the 2015 Canada Games to the implementation of the Student Association food coverage. You are an inspiration to Whitewater region, and we would like to honor you with this from our council. Thank you very much.
The price of fame.
Okay, so we can just go straight through. Yep. Just do my stuff here. The first thing
was on the agenda is the sewer budget. And what I asked the treasurer to do is to wait till the May meeting, which as was instructed with regards to the sewer billing, we'll take it up at the committee meeting in May. The other item that is for information that I've asked us to bring forward as well with regards to the votes. So these are the projects that they're proposing for the budget, so that is just for information. And I would encourage you to go out and buy those votes and make your decisions accordingly, so that when we are at budget discussions on April 22nd, I believe, we'll all be very well informed. Then we have a motion. Do we have a motion? No. Next is Councilman remuneration. Oh, that's the moving forward. That's the bottom line. So we just need a motion for the okay, and everybody received in their package the council's remuneration for 2014. So moved by Henry Miller, seconded by Dave Mackay. It resolved the Corporate Services Committee of the Township of Whitewater Region has received the Treasurer's report of 2014 remuneration and expenses paid to all council members as per Section 2B4, paragraph 1 of the Municipal Act. All those in favor? Any discussion first? Sorry. I have some confused looks. At 2014, remuneration and expenses every year prior to the end of March, the treasurer has to present to council and all the expenses and remunerations paid to the councillors for the year. And that was in your package and as the rest of everybody's. So if you have any questions with regards to that statement. Okay. Sorry. All those in favor? All those opposed? Carried. The next item on the list is with regards to council remuneration moving forward. You'll remember that we had a report from the CAO with regards to road speed spending and doing a review of the council's remuneration and perhaps getting a committee as well. Is anybody in favor of that? Do we have any discussions with regards to that or any questions of Christine? Reid Miller.
I have one question in regard to Mr. Bakley. It's $1,000 to Mr. Bakley or does it go to Redford County?
It goes to Redford County to offset his out-of-office services, and it includes his mileage.
So it's Redford County service. He's just an employee. Okay.
From a comment?
Well, don't we pay enough money to Redford County? I think we give them lots of.
It seems funny that we have to pay them.
I can see that.
But
Councilor Mackay, the county provides us with so many hours for different services over the year, and I am sure that with the arbitration as well as the negotiations with the union, that our hours are more than well used up. And they keep track of that and support them. Okay? Councilor McLaughlin, did you have a question?
No, you really exactly what I was going to say. Because there is a certain amount that we're allowed, and like you say, we'll well overuse it.
Yes. Christine?
thank you, Chair. Just wanted to point out, Councillor, that in my experience, whether it be the planning department or the human resources department, when we are billed, it's usually well below the going market rate if another consultant was sought out.
In my opinion, to get a small pay raise, I think what we're talking possibly 2%. it amounts to $200 a year or whatever to each of us. Why can't we just make that decision and save the $1,000? I mean, we've got to cut down on consultants. We don't need to give somebody $1,000 to get ourselves a 2% raise. If you need a raise, just vote for the raise. Keep the $1,000. Give it to minor hockey or something. That's my opinion.
I think the intent of having Bruce Weekly do a review is to review the remuneration as a whole and not necessarily do a raise or not. Let's get a base rate so that what should the councillors in what region be paid, if anything, increase or decrease, and it's a independent group of people, committee that will do that, and he will describe the meetings. Mayor Johnson.
I agree with that reason where that if we're not going to get more than $1,000 in pay raise, if that would be the decision or the thought, then let's use $1,000 equally. I agree. Don't spend money into that. Really, this council should be receiving approximately the middle of the line, even for the line. Like, we're not asking too much of the people here to be within the middle. Like we have as Samaritan Council as anybody else, I think. Yeah. So my feeling is the same as Gary.
So I think in the past what has happened is the increase has gone with regards to CPI. Is that correct? And we can continue that way. It was discussed, Councillor McLaughlin had brought the issue up with regards to whether or not we should be reviewing that. If it would include a 2.4% increase to what is currently being paid for the year 2015. Councillor Mackay, did you know anything?
Really, you get $200 over the year, why take that raise? Because people will say, you give yourself, don't you? If you're going to get a blackboard, let's get a raise over that. Or just, I'll just come in and then I want $200. Hear people say, hey, here's more raise. If I've got $1,000, yeah, I did it for $200. What's that? It's a joke.
Okay. Is the raising the bylaw for the remuneration that the Citizens of Whitewater Region Council ensures proper maintenance of the council's remuneration model by providing an annual increase to the base compensation using a 12-month annual consumer price index increase, and that CPI doesn't be effective January 1st of each year past. So that has been always ongoing, the same as staff pay. If you leave it at a certain rate, then we may not have anybody run for council at another time because it may not be worthwhile for somebody to run for council if you always remain the same. It just encourages more people to run. Certainly there was a lot of people that ran the last election, and we can keep it the same way. Or I'm not hearing anybody in favor of having Bruce Weekly. Councillor McLaughlin first, and then Councillor Regan.
Well, when I looked at this, and I think we go back to about 2006, maybe, or 2005, somewhere around there. That's when we changed the format of what we were getting for numeration. When I started, it was so much per meeting, plus you had a base honorarium that you could receive. We decided at that time to go to this system. And at that time it was 9 councillors. It wasn't 7, there were 9. So this is my reasoning for thinking. I certainly would like to spend $1,000, hire Mr. Beakley, and probably take the other 3. Was the other option that there would be 3 citizens on that board? Or was it 3 2? I was thinking so. And because we never looked at it in 2006, that's 9 years ago. And I'm not sure if it's 2006, it's somewhere in that era. So over 10 years, should not be maybe taken a look at, because if you see where we sit compared to the other councils, the other townships, where our honorarium sits, compared to the amount of people that we have, and the number of meetings that we're doing now are just way. At that time, the time when we did it, we would only have probably 2 meetings a month at the maximum. We would only be 1 meeting in July, 1 in August. Our meetings are loaded a lot bigger with less calendars. So I think it's just in fairness. I think it needs to be maybe looked at. And if Mr. Baker, whatever he goes backwards, I'm fine. I'm happy.
I agree 100%.
Councillor McLaughlin, I was about to say just about all of the same. And if I'm not mistaken, when they did that, when Mr. Beakley did that back in 2006, at that time, I don't believe there was a raise given. Or the council of the day at that time did not take any additional money at that time, I think is my understanding. Here nor there, I think it's not a bet for $1,000. It gives us an idea of where we're at. And I agree with Councillor Jackson, and I agree with Councillor McLaughlin. For $1,000, it gives us a baseline. And again, if we do or we don't, at least we know where we're at. Thank you.
Johnson.
I definitely agree that this honorarium that is being paid to this council is unfair. And I will that we have wherewithal to give, because we have to approve whatever is brought to us anyway. And so what I'm saying, and I think that's what different is, why don't we just think about what we think is fair, and I'm sure everybody won't hope to approve the line. And just decide that's where we're going with it. And just pay the $1,000. Doesn't matter if I want to split the $1,000 there. And I do think that if need be, we could get 3 people to have 3 good citizens at the same time. And I won't carry on our probably like to move it similar way. And that's fine, but it is our responsibility to pay them. I think we should decide and go with it.
Just a comment. I think it's more prudent to have a committee make those decisions and actually council make those decisions. That it doesn't fall on our shoulders. We can approve or disapprove the actual recommendation if there is an increase. We can make any changes to that. We can put in a sliding scale whenever, at what point it actually goes to that rate. There's several ways of doing it, but it's the committee that would make those recommendations of typically of ratepayers. So they're directly making this decision, and that hiring Bruce Beakley, he's going to facilitate those meetings. Christine, do you have anything else?
Thank you. I just wanted to add that, as the chair has outlined, that process, third parties, is completely out of your hands, so that you have no involvement, and there's an objective opinion that a recommendation that comes forward to you for discussion.
Bruce Miller and then Councillor Kai.
This committee is on our way there, and I believe that if you went out and asked 10 ratepayers if we want to spend that $1,000, I'd be willing to bet 9 and see your hands. And we're really our committee. We've got to do what they wish for. We don't even hire people to tell us to get 2% raise for crying out loud. They're not going to like it. That's my opinion. I don't think we should do that. I think we should put a motion up to just take 2% raise if we want to raise. Move on. That's it. My opinion.
Councillor Kai and Councillor.
I'll agree with Alan. Hey, Miller, what if we need to spend $1,000? If we get 3 members of the public, they're pretty as good as we're not. This is where we get any money to get. We don't need some bureaucrat to tell us. Like,
So, Rick,
Say, if you want to take a raise or you want to, take any kind of so you're going to be, the taxpayers coming after you anyway. So, that will be, that. I would still like to see another bottom line.
and just so you know, when you look at the municipal remuneration service from 2013, Mayor and Reed's salary is ranked number 15 of 17, and total salaries and expenses are ranked number 12 of 17. Councillors are ranked in total, for a total of 7, are ranked number 6 out of 17, but that's total salary and expenses. Doesn't include salary. Councillor McLaughlin and then Mayor Johnson.
but when you look at those stats, you're not taking in as well the amount of people that you're servicing. Are your in like we have over 6,000 people. There are some municipalities that have over 500 as well. So when you go through your figures, which I don't disagree with, but you've got to factor that factor in, especially the water plants. Most municipalities have not. So we have a lot more things to deal with, and I think where the numbers come from, but you've got to also factor in the things that we have to deal with as well, and the number of peoples and the numbers of roads. So that's why I agree with the chair and I agree with Councillor right here. Have an outside person looking at it, and at that point, I think it's a whole lot better to come back with some kind of a result or a proposal, and then we can look at it and we can decide. Like, there's sometimes, like I said, there's people sitting here at this table, sit on 12 extra committees. There's others that sit on 9. We used to get paid for every committee every meeting that you attended. So now you've got, but you're all getting the same pay. So I don't know. I just don't see that as being really fair. But that's just my opinion, and whatever is said here tonight is fine. I can live with 2.4. As I've said many times, the old deputy mayor, Greg used to say, I can live with it. Mayor Johnson.
I definitely agree that with through water plants, one sewer plants, the amount of roads we have in our population, that should be the target we have for like around that are population, administrative problems, and so forth. And so all I'm suggesting is that we could choose ourselves to be in those rates. And what did I call you? Let's not be handed like that. Anyway, the chair and the people would like to use an outsider probably correct in doing that, because may or may not be being fair, but it's I agree that we should make the decision. And I think we should have somebody because we don't to vote on it right now. We're looking at a top, we won't have to make this. The one that I bring it in.
Can I make a suggestion that we go along with the ban as it is current, and we talk about this maybe in the fall?
And what did I call you?
is there anything that we need to do with regards to the bylaw as it stands now, and to continue on?
I don't think so. And if if you call for consensus and that's the feeling of quorum, that's fine. There's nothing else that needs to be done.
So a new bylaw will come forward at our next council meeting, which will be April the 14th, 15th? Wednesday. Oh, but the bylaw, do you need a bylaw for 2014 to increase it to 2.4%? Or, yes.
That's the one I had to draft.
Yes. So on April the Wednesday, 15th, a new bylaw will come forward with the 2.4%, and is everybody in agreement with that? And we'll discuss further in the fall, and maybe everybody will have a better sense of how many meetings they're attending and what the feeling is. Especially when we're into budget talks, I think the focus is budget right now, and we can talk about it another time. Is that fair? Is that good to go, or do you want to bring it to a motion now? If I have a mover and a seconder with regards to motion, in your hands. Councillor McLaughlin.
I would really prefer that we wait at least if we're going to make a motion. We have all 7 councillors, so I'm not ready tonight to make that motion. As the fall, I can go one way or the other. I prefer to start now because it's going to take till fall to probably get the process completed. So, but I do think that it's not fair tonight to go ahead with the motion. So, either if you want to leave it to fall or table it till the next meeting, or when we have all 7 councillors, I would be the next committee meeting. If we table it then, we would have all people hopefully here. Is my thoughts.
Councillor Rieger, did you have any comments?
Because that's the council, then I'm happy to do it. That's fine. Thank you.
Mayor Johnson.
Just one more table item.
I agree with Councilor Lawson. We have to, if we're going to go ahead with this, we would be doing that. So it would bring up, I can vote on a motion at the next meeting.
So at the council meeting or at the committee meeting? We'll have it for the next committee meeting. That's budget. So it will be the next first Wednesday of May 6th. It will come back up on the council agenda for the committee. Okay? Thank you. The next item on the list, the agenda, is the discussion of frequency of council and committee meetings requested by Councillor McLaughlin. Councillor McLaughlin, do you have any comments with regards to?
Well, I think it's my comment is that having one council meeting, and I feel that there's times and times in the last few months where we need to have a second with all these 2 committee meetings. We also, with our 2 council meetings, we could have, my mind is, have a small event on your council meetings and then go ahead after we've been doing and do some committee meetings. But I still feel we should have somewhere able to bring issues that need to be brought to council and have time to bring them to council.
Mayor Johnson?
I would have to agree with Councilor McLaughlin. We're going to have to add them in, and whether or not we make it a special extra meeting once in a while to catch up. I think we should put, even if it's just half an hour on our committee meeting, or something, just if we have something to pass, just announce it. If we don't need it, then we can just say going ahead to committee.
Just for clarification, I think when we did the
Budget.
what is it called? Procedural bylaw. We did speak about any special meetings that were required. If there was an item that needed to be brought to council's attention, that it can be brought at a special meeting called anytime, as well as can be called during the night of a committee meeting. So there are those times if there was a need to pass a bylaw immediately, that can be done at a committee meeting, but scheduled as a special meeting. I don't know that there's a requirement of anything further. I think I would personally like to see how we sit in the fall. This time period right now, there's a lot of things going on, a lot of people getting to know the municipality and how to run and budget talks, and there is a lot on your plate, and it is extra meetings anyway because of that, and to change to council meetings again and then want to go back, I think we're better off waiting at least a year to see how we fare out and then move forward from there. I think it is, my opinion, that I'm hoping it's going to smooth out and move forward. Did you want to speak, Mayor Jones?
That you're quite correct about the bylaw does come to that. So that would be easy to before what Councillor McLaughlin is asking, that anybody that feels that we should have can request, and if we have a number in the end or something practical, you can just do it at that time, and that's already been a bylaw, right? So, and it is already in the bylaw. So that would mean no further requirements other than we have to bring it if required.
Okay, next item on the agenda, accessibility grant application. Christine.
Thank you, Chair. Deputy Clerk Delaveau has done some research into this. Basically, even though we have two recreation groups, the Cullen Recreation Group is part of our audited financial statements, so they are considered to be part of the township. The Beachburg Recreation Committee is a separately incorporated body, and they are not on our audited financial statements, their assets. Therefore, there are two different groups who could be applying. However, when Hope spoke to someone at the ministry regarding the Enabling Accessibility Fund, she was basically told that they would not favorably on two applications coming from the same region, and they would only look at the first one they received, no matter whose name was on it as the submitting organization. So I put forth to you that I think as we discuss what recreation will look like moving forward, we need to come up with some kind of a policy. But at the moment, we have funding that we could apply for. The deadline is April 27th. There are no drawings or any groundwork that's been done for either of these accessibility projects. They have been identified on the list that Doug's department did, working with Steve last year. So the immediate decision is, will it be the Beachburg Arena or the Cobden Arena, because only one of them can apply, or they're just going to cancel each other out.
Can I just ask a question? You said that not necessarily on the financial statements. We do own the Beachburg Arena, though, so those assets are included on our statements. They have the right to rent it and occupy it and run the program, but we still own the actual building. Is that correct?
That is correct. But as a submitting body for funding, they have put forth grant applications independently before under the title of the Beachburg Recreation Committee.
For the actual building?
For programming, I believe.
Programming is different.
And this is different. It is actually part of the physical plant. So there's really two issues here. Short term, April 27th, deadline looming. you have to pick a project if we're going to apply. They both need, as per your list, significant accessibility improvement. And then in the longer term, how do we deal with this moving forward, because it's going to be an ongoing issue.
Councillor Connor.
Cobbin probably needs more than Beachburg. I think Beachburg just needs the door and the washroom. I think Cobbin has to have an elevator and they have an upstairs. Where Cobbin Beachburg just has to lower their snack bar and convert some walk-ins at the door into a wheelchair accessible and an automatic door. That's very simple. So, I don't know, maybe Cobbin is more. Because it takes more money, that'd be the first one. So I'll get in trouble for saying that. But,
Christine?
Thank you. Just so that you're aware, the average elevator installation these days is running over $100,000. So, is it worth it? I guess is the question.
I have a question. What is the funding? Is it 50%? Is it a quarter? Is it 25%? Or is it 100? A total cost of $50,000.
And we are, the applicant must contribute equal or greater than 35% of the total cost of the project.
Okay. Mayor Johnson.
That would mean that even if we got the grant, we still couldn't afford to put an elevator in Clobden this year. So that would make the decision very easy to apply for Beachburg. If we can't afford to do what we need to do in Clobden, then we should do the grant for what we can afford to do if we get the success on the grant. That would be my suggestion.
You don't have to, just for clarification purposes, you don't have to do everything on the list. You can apply for 1, 2, 3, or all of them, or only one of them, is my understanding with regards to the accessibility, as long as we're moving forward with accessibility. But we wouldn't necessarily apply to have an elevator installed if we weren't going to be funding it. Perhaps my suggestion would be the Beachburg Arena, with the ability to use some of the funds from the revenue that we receive from Hydro that could go towards funding that project. If we were successful in Beachburg, that would be my suggestion. Johnson.
I think that would be a good suggestion. Before we make a final decision, which we should be making for the 27th will come quick, but these are surely grants, right? So, whoever can put it together the fastest is the winner here, probably also.
Okay, well, I guess I'll take the question too about who, but it's my opinion that township should be the applicant. Therefore, it will be township staff who do this work. Even though they've shovel-ready project, Mr. Mayor, we have no drawings or any prep work done for any of these projects. So, in order to have a fighting chance to make a really strong application, I need to set someone loose on this problem tomorrow.
I'll direct this to Doug. You're probably going to be involved. Doug, for some of these projects, or projects we will be able to do, would you be able to do the drawings? Would there be, like, you wouldn't need an architect drawing to put a door in?
No, when we look for the bathrooms, we would use probably your Darrow in the
Okay.
because probably more familiar with the Beachburg Arena, and probably the one that can get quick enough to get what's done. We would use the other optimals.
Okay, I think just wanted to make good decision on where we can get this one set forward and in their opinion that we would be successful on. We'll come up again next year. I'm pretty sure it's been an ongoing grant.
All bets are off in terms of what's ongoing and what isn't these days. I wouldn't commit myself to that. I don't know.
Okay.
I think that's a fair assumption as well. So I have a motion drawn up. Do we go ahead and allow staff to get the groundwork going, see how much it's going to cost for the design, if he's able to do it by the timeline? If we have a motion today, then we can verify that motion at our council meeting, April the 15th. And then everything can move forward with regards to the application process. But if Doug can look into find out if that gentleman is available to do the drawings and get everything in line, and if not, then we'll miss out on the grant application because it all hinges on being shovel ready as requested at Councilor McLaughlin.
But does that not have to be ready by the 27th of April? And we're only going to pass the motion on the 15th?
My suggestion is that Doug go ahead and we'll pass the motion now. Doug go ahead and find out if the gentleman can do the work. On the 15th is actually council meeting. This is a committee meeting. It's a committee motion to council. Council then can ratify the motion and move it forward. And the application can be formed if we can give him if he can go ahead and do the drawings, then please have him go ahead and do the drawings so that they're ready. If we get notification that he can and they will be ready, then we'll verify. But if we get the message back that he can't, then that motion will be turned down and there will not be. Is that another that, Christine?
Yes, absolutely. And I think, sorry.
No,
This situation, if you go back to the chart that's in your package, that we need to get way ahead of the game here. This situation illuminates a significant problem that we're not ready. The moment the window flies open on these funding opportunities, we don't have drawings on the shelf ready to be pulled out, the grant application written up, and away we go. That we're starting from ground zero on these, and a position that I would highly recommend, and I believe I'm supported by senior staff, is that over the next few years, we work toward getting the engineering and the drawings on the shelf ready to go, so when funding is announced, we're not starting from the starting line, we're kind of halfway down the chute.
And maybe just to clarify, the project doesn't have to be complete, just the design, just the drawing.
well, what you said is exactly what it was in my mind, is let's get started now, get the drawings done, and then we can ratify it. But to ratify it and then get your drawings and have it all ready, that's not going to work. And that's where my thought was. So,
Doug, did you have any comments?
Can you come up to the front?
No, it's working, I think. Just two things. I agree that in order for us to hit these deadlines on this one, we would have to get at it right away, get the drawings going, and get the drawings and everything ready for the 27th, if we can do that. If we had to wait to the 15th and then start, I don't think we'd meet the deadline at all. Secondly, on that list that we have provided you, at some time we'd like council to give us direction on which buildings you would like us to look into next, that we can start getting drawings ahead of time and be ready.
I agree. I think once budget is over, so that's going to be huge, we can start getting into the details of this. But to rush some of those decisions without knowing the cost of some of these things, I think it would be imperative to find out the cost first of some of the design. Some of the designs are going to be a lot more expensive for an elevator than they would for a walkroom. So that was my recommendation.
Definitely. And I can give you a cost of kind of design. I think in the tourist booth, the design was around $2,000 for the drawings to be ready.
So well worth the
Yeah.
cost. Okay, so I have a motion in front of me, moved by Mayor Johnson, seconded by Councilor McLaughlin. Be it resolved that the Corporate Services Committee of the Township of Whitewater Region agrees to submit an enabling accessibility grant application for accessibility improvements to Beachburg Arena, with the township's 35% being drawn from the Ottawa River Power Corporation Reserve. All those in favor? Opposed? The next item on the list is staff training and development policy. Is there any comments with regard to this policy? In the form, I'm not seeing that it would be applicable to their individual position or what perhaps moving forward in their position, how it would apply. I think it's important that put in the form and actually within it has relevance to that person's position to attend those conferences. I know in the county when I said that, I don't see that in, I would personally like to see that included, that it's relevant for the person's position, to reduce the cost of people going. But certainly if it has relevance to their position, then by all means. Yeah, so do I have kind of consensus on that? It'll be brought back at the next committee meeting for further discussion. So the change will be in the policy statement as well as in a procedure that the CIO will review the application prior to approving to ensure that that is met, that it relates to their position, and that it will also have in the application, because this is just a travel accident claim form. It's not an actual form that is being submitted to the CAO for approval of the conference or training. So I'd like to see a form come forward that has the training, why that person feels that it relates to their job, and then it's an easy thing for the CAO to sign off on. Great. Okay, so we'll bring it back in the committee meeting and have another look at it. Thank you. We shook their head. Okay, so I think that's it for me, and then we want to. Councilor McLaughlin.
The corporate policies and procedures, I would like to see draft, like a total draft done of it rather than this.
Okay. If you look at the first page, Councilor McLaughlin, the Township of Whitewater Region, that is the draft that Kristen has done. The current vote is
I just didn't see the front. Take notice of the front page.
okay.
Sorry.
Not a problem. Thank you. So I think that's it for me, and we move on to Protective Services Committee with Chair Kathy Ricketts. How about we take a 5-minute break?
solution is good?
Yes. Mary, no, that was
He will avoid you. Carl? You made it interesting.
So far, over. We had a call the one shot fire. That's just my idea. Show you something. No, but right there. There's where your fire started.
where is it here?
Your fire started where the work. See the alligator? Fire started there. But we're going to wait for the fire marshal who works with the church. He's a retired guy. He concurs with us. We have to come up. Yeah. I got a phone call from Bruce McIntyre. Wants to call me. Mom, get on the gym. Really executive job. You'll know exactly where it came from. Yep. I think it's good. I agree. I agree, Dave.
5 acres, and if she can get
Who's she anyway?
she's Fulton's sister, Boudreaux. Her husband's dead now. Joe Boudreaux, you know, who lives on the Snake Line?
Oh, that's him, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's her wife. They had the welding shop there.
Yeah, at the top of East Hill.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I voted against her anyway because she went to Pembroke. Was Nolan Ford against it? I came in late, eh?
Yeah, no, he was against because he goes to the farm.
Screwed.
Yeah. I disagree with, and I know Doug's doing it, and he's impartial. Farms, he says there's no animals, but, you know, tomorrow, you can have animals.
That's right.
If it's the tax rate is it's a farm, and tomorrow I can fill my bill. One of my buildings is empty, but tomorrow I can fill it.
That's right.
And it could be worse than cattle, it could be pigs or chickens. Especially pigs. Then you run into big problems.
Should have shut there.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes, true.
I don't have money pigs.
Yeah. All right. There's a guy in France, you know, he did, because the sheep and trimmed them all look like French poodles. Oh my God, the sheep, man. There's them everywhere. We can look at, but he's got a lot of. That's pretty good.